Privyet. This is Soviet Latvia reporting for duty, and I was kind of wondering if I could be in your Hetalia historical panel for Anime Boston 2014. As I said, I represent the Latvian Soviet Socialist Republic, and I have 3 reasons why you should let me be in your panel. So hopefully you'll let me in, and I hope you like the reasons. I hope they're good. Reason 1. I actually take up a decent time span of history. Some countries, such as the Third Reich, might have been extremely powerful, but they didn't last very long. The Latvian SSR, however, lasted for quite the time period, going from 1940 to 1991. So that's a long amount of time, and a lot of things happened during that time period. There was a World War, a Cold War, there was multiple Olympics, there was all sorts of stuff went on. There was protests that were really interesting. There was all sorts of things that went on, and I wish I could condense all of that down, but there's so many questions that I could easily answer just because I was around for all that time period. So hopefully that'll give some insight, because I not just for a tiny amount of time. That was over quite a long span, so hopefully that'll be a good incentive for why I should be in the panel. That's reason number 1. Reason 2 is sort of part of reason 1, but I thought it was important to include it because not only was it a big part of my history, but also world history in general. Reason 2 being World War II, and not only was I part of World War II, I was a valuable sniper unit. That's right, the Latvians were a big part of World War II because we are excellent with a gun. I was personally taught by Finland, so I think I'm pretty good. So the Latvians were definitely utilized by both the German army and the Russian army because we were very good. The Russians had a Latvian unit ever since Tsarist times, and eventually abolished our rifle unit in the 60s because we had a little incident involving the Forrest brothers that I can explain more, but Mr. Russia wasn't too happy when he found out that I was using my guns to protest him. But that's in the future. So we're talking about World War II now. Not only am I good with a gun, and not only was I important to helping the Russians eventually win the war, but also I have a strategic body of water in the Baltic Sea, which was very important to the entire Eastern campaign, because whoever controlled the Baltic Sea could basically go wherever they wanted in Europe, and it was a big cause for many different offensives and battles throughout Eastern Europe, including the Baltic Offensive, which had the Tallinn and Riga campaigns. It was very important also for the Russians to obtain the battle of involving the sinking of the Wilhelm Gustloff. That's not my fault. I apologize to anybody involved in the incident. I don't want to talk too much about this because if you want to find out more, you should definitely add me to the panel. But concerning the incident, it was definitely the biggest naval disaster of the 20th century. Not even the Titanic can compare to it. It was that bad. But definitely an important part of World War II. And if you want to learn more about my involvement in World War II, then you should definitely add me to your panel. So hopefully that's another incentive, and I hope that reason 2 works. Reason 3, most people would consider the most pivotal of my reasons to be in a panel. And I definitely think it's one of the more important reasons, though it certainly isn't my favorite. I did promise 3 reasons, and this is definitely the juiciest one. Because I was in the Soviet Union, I can tell you everything you wanted to know about the Cold War. Instead of listing all of the reasons that the Soviet Union was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad place, I thought I would instead take the liberty to tell the 2 things that were actually good about it. I chose that because it's a much smaller list, and it's very concise, for logical reasons. Good thing about the Soviet Union number 1. There is no drinking age here. And believe me, when you live in the Soviet Union, you really need to drink. So long as I'm not the one buying, I can drink whatever I want. The second thing that was slightly cushioning, and also the mushier of the 2 reasons. Oh, I really don't want to say this. And I really don't want to do this, but we're getting it off my chest and we're getting it over with. The first thing was that alcohol eased a bit of the pain. The second thing the Soviet Union was awful. Okay? It was very close to being unbearable. I don't know why I'm alive. But I was never unwanted, or unloved, or insignificant, or unimportant. I was necessary. I was needed. And that's not even the case now. I wouldn't go back in time. I don't know if I could do it again. But that's one thing I'll admit. I was important at one point. Moving along, though. Oh my gosh, you almost lost it there, Avis. Those were my reasons. I hope they were good enough to make me of use to your panel. I hope that I have a decent audition, and I hope that I can be of good service to you, comrade. So, this is Soviet Latvia, signing out. Do svidaniya. Alright, this is the out of character section. So, I'm going to be telling you a bit about me as my, like, experience in terms of, like, my historical knowledge go. So, my actual name is Kit. I'm old enough to lie about my age, and I've definitely had some panel and hosting experiences in the past. I've been a panelist at UConn and Kineticon in the past. I co-hosted Hitalia Day 2013 in Meriden, Connecticut, and also in 2014, I hope, we're going to be having a special little surprise for you people at UConn concerning not really an Ask a Nation panel, but something a little exciting and informational, but also fun. So keep in touch with me for that. But enough about that. I want to talk a little about this right now. So concerning the panel stuff for this historical panel, oh my gosh, you have no idea how excited I am for this sort of stuff. I have to be completely honest with you. I love anything like related to like Soviet history or just like anything Eastern history. I love it. I'm particularly like Latvian history, as you might be able to tell. This is gonna sound really ironic as a Latvia cosplayer, but my other favorite character is Russia. I love Russian and Latvian history, as well as most of the Baltics in general, most of the Baltic and Slavic area. It's just a very interesting area to learn about, and I really wish that I could have whipped up an older cosplay, like, older in terms of, like, history cosplay. Like, I would have loved to do, like, Teutonic or Courlander Latvia, but, I didn't have time for that, and I'm extremely knowledgeable about, Soviet and communist history, so hopefully I'll be able to inform you stuff about that. I definitely know my stuff. I'm currently taking an AP Euro course, specifically not because I want just credits in college, but because I actually love history. I'm such a klutz, by the way. Also, I thought it would be worth mentioning. This is I thought I'd bring this down to show you. This is the Red Army's Do-Yourself Nazi Bashing Guerrilla Warfare Manual. This is the 1942 manual that they used during World War II to like give instructions. It was like a how-to survival guide that they gave out to the people in the military, so that's kind of cool. Concerning the hat that always is falling off my head, this hat's authentic. The pin is a knockoff, but the hat is the real deal. The Russian Army, the Red Army, didn't change their hat designs. Like, they barely altered their uniforms up throughout the time during the Cold War. So, it's a 1990 hat, but that is still authentic Soviet. This is the sort of thing that you would see them wearing, and that's pretty darn cool, I think.
This pin is a knockoff. I got it specifically for this purpose, to wear and like for wear and tear. I do have a real pin. I have an Order of the Patriotic War pin. I would not bring it to a convention though. But yeah, this is a real hat. The coat is not historically accurate, but it looks authentic enough, I think, and I would definitely love to make a more historically fitting coat later. But this is mainly just for like a panel about knowledge of history, and to be honest, looks shouldn't matter, right? I would definitely love to be in this panel. I know my stuff. I have tons of books on this. I love learning about history, so I'm excited to just be there and hear what you guys know. If I'm not in the panel, you can bet your dollar I will be there asking questions like an overexcited little puppy, because I love this sort of stuff. So other than that, that's my audition. I wish the rest of you luck. I hope that you like it, and hopefully I'll get in. If not, you can bet that I'll be there cheering you guys on. And I hope that you have an awesome day. This is Kit signing out. See ya. Goofballing around. Okay, gotta try again. Alright. Reason? I'm sorry. Shut up, dogs! Okay. You can focus, Kate. You can focus. Did I break this? I hope not. Shut up! You done? Did I break this? No, seriously. Why am I'm filming this? Stop fooling with the gun, Kit. Alright. Reason 2 kind of goes off. And the Russians actually have had